Oh, I'll get the next one.
Plenty of room.
No, I'll just take the escalator.
Squeeze on in.
I'd rather my robes didn't smell like a fillet of fish all day, thanks.
That's hopeful, man.
What's up, guys? Spenny. Donald Trump already doesn't like the United Nations. He's called it a cesspool of globalism, and he gave a speech there yesterday where he roasts all the globalists to their faces. They didn't quite like that, and the individuals who run the United Nations seemingly tried to create a house of horrors for Donald Trump as he walked through the building in order to get to his speech. Not a smart idea. What you can see here in this clip is that they turned off the escalator right when President Trump and Melania Trump got on in order to walk up the escalator. You can see here President Trump and Melania Trump getting on the escalator, and then the escalator shuts off. This is, of course, a massive security problem. And then Donald Trump and Melania Trump have to walk up the stairs, which of course they can do, unlike Joe Biden. But the intention here was in order to clearly have Melania Trump and Donald Trump trip over each other and to create a embarrassing moment for them. You can see right here. Again, the escalator, which is moving, stops. And then the goal, you can see a little bit of a jolt there for both of them as they look confused. The escalator stopping, obviously, was done on purpose. Here's the clip.
We love that punctuality.
Yes.
And the First Lady also going to address the UN as well as she arrives with her husband, and they go up the escalator this time.
So I heard a few questions being shouted there, but no responses. Stand by. I don't know if there's audio on that or not.
Chuck Schumer.
Okay, I heard the end. That was Chuck Schumer. And there's a reason for that.
Right. So we just saw in the commercial break that President Trump has posted a very lengthy Truth Social.
Oh, yeah.
And it is all about the Democrats. And you might have heard that Senator Chuck Schumer and the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, they have asked for a meeting with President Trump on Thursday to try to avoid this government shutdown and maybe bring up other things. He's saying that he doesn't think a meeting will be productive with them. He's saying that there are principles in a letter that's been laid out, and if they can't agree to that, I suppose there might not be a meeting.
So Donald Trump had the escalator stopped there and then had the teleprompters turned off on him. Donald Trump was giving this speech in front of the United Nations. Obviously, every nation assembled in this building that is, of course, given to them and funded entirely by the United States of America. And as soon as Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America, walks up, this happens.
Mind making the speech without a teleprompter, because the teleprompter is not working. I feel very happy to be up here with you, nevertheless, and that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
Trump not having it.
All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen.
There you go.
But she's in great shape.
Trump knows it. That was the point.
We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the two things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter.
Trump is joking. J.D. Vance is joking here. He laughed at this post, but I'm not sure that the United Nations is going to be laughing. J.D. Vance saying, all kidding aside, anybody notice how, despite the lack of a teleprompter, he delivered a clear, reasonable address to the United Nations on foreign policy. It's nice to have a president with a brain, says J.D. Vance. Okay, cool. Well, President Trump has a brain enough to say maybe he was being sabotaged internally at the United Nations. You know, this has obviously happened to President Trump within his own government. There's obviously been left-wing sabotage and deep state sabotage constantly. And so let's look at what Trump has to say here. It was an honor to speak for the United Nations. Before the speech, it was very well, I believe the speech was well received. Focus on energy and immigration. Talk for a long period of time in the forum. Absolute best. Hope everyone watches it. The teleprompter was broken and the escalators came to a sudden halt as we were riding up to the podium. But both of those events probably made the speech more interesting than it would have been otherwise. It's always a great honor to speak, even if their equipment is faulty. Well, so there's a little more than just faultiness at the escalator. White House exposes dangerous plot to humiliate Trump, Melania at the United Nations. The goal here was obviously, object in motion will stay in motion. Object at rest will stay at rest. It's, thermodynamics. If you're on a moving escalator and it suddenly stops, then you fall over. And the goal would be to get like a Biden moment here to trip up Donald Trump, literally. The White House has condemned the United Nations security and accuses their staff of deliberately turning off the escalators to embarrass President Trump. Melania and Trump were forced to walk up the escalator when it suddenly stopped, right when they stepped on the escalator. That's how you know. Secretary Caroline Leavitt immediately cited a report by the Times on Sunday that noted that the UN had joked that they could turn off the escalators and the elevators in the building. The pranksters reportedly planned to make Trump walk up the stairs or simply tell him they ran out of money. If someone at the United Nations intentionally stopped the escalator, the president and first lady, there will be fired and investigated immediately. The mishap seemed to be the tone of Trump's fiery tirade. The president later sneering, "All I got from the United Nations was a broken escalator and teleprompter." Trump's speech left world leaders stunned as he accused the United Nations of funding an assault on the West through immigration and warned that Europe is going to hell. Very true. To mark Trump's, here's Caroline Leavitt's post here, and then we'll play Caroline Leavitt's clip from Fox News. If someone at the United Nations intentionally stopped the escalator, they need to be fired and investigated. Obviously, this is a massive security problem. This could lead, of course, to President Trump tripping, falling on his face, hitting his face, injuring himself. The escalator teeth are sharp. You could really do damage there. Donald Trump, call it what it is. He doesn't fall down, right? We've never seen anything like that. But I've tripped on escalators before. I'm half the age of Donald Trump. To mark Trump's arrival, UN staff members had joked that they may turn off the escalators and elevators and simply tell him they ran out of money, so he has to walk up the stairs. Look at that. So yeah, Caroline Leavitt saying, this ain't gonna happen. We are going to freaking investigate you. Go.
Caroline, it does appear to be sabotage with the escalator and the teleprompter. What is the White House going to do about that?
Well, Jesse, that's definitely what it appears to be to me. And that's why I put out a statement earlier. There was some concerning reporting over the weekend from the London Times, as you pointed out, that UN globalist staffers were basically plotting to set up the president of the United States. And first it was the escalator, then it was the teleprompter, and then Katie Pavlich from Town Hall, who we offered a seat in the press pool to cover the president's historic speech today, noticed that the audio inside of the room was much lower and different for the president of the United States than the previous speaker. So when you put all of this together, it doesn't look like a coincidence to me. And I know that we have people, including the United States Secret Service, who are looking into this to try to get to the bottom of it. And if we find that these were UN staffers who were purposefully trying to literally trip up the president and the first lady of the United States, well, there better be accountability for those people. And I will personally see to it, Jesse.
Good.
I'm not the only person saying this. Steve Bannon saying the escalator stopped exactly when Trump steps on it. Come on. Teleprompter doesn't work. But the dictator in Brazil, it worked just fine. They're messing with him. The UN thinks they're cute. Pull every penny and shut it down. Could not agree more. Do it and do it now. The escalator stopped the moment he stepped on it, and the teleprompter stopped working the moment he got up to speak. Ooh, baby. You are messing with the wrong guys, the wrong administration. So many different fronts to fight upon, and, well, time to get going. Defund the UN. Perfectly had with that one. That's like easiest call the administration. It's your boy, Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.